Good afternoon, welcome back to my channel, and this is going to be games 1 to 10 from the 52 game challenge that I'm taking part in this year again. Last year I think I did 70 games, so hopefully I can hit the same number this year. I do try to keep it all kind of physical games, but I'm going to start including digital games into this year as well. So the first game that I did play was a digital game, and let me just get it up here. I should have prepared this a little bit better. So the first game I played was Gris on the Switch. It's a really fun little 2D platformer. I think it kind of delves into the wee girl's kind of psyche and like her troubled kind of mind and things like that. But the game itself is just a really nice little gorgeous kind of 2D puzzle platformer. Can't even see that. It's really nice. Nice graphics, nice kind of soft kind of palette on it. Highly recommend playing through this. It's really short as well. It's not like a long game. You can play through it quite quickly. I think maybe 3 or 4 hours. But yeah, really nice. So that was the first game I did this year. And then the second game I played this year was an absolute classic back from the PSP, and a lot of people have picked this up recently. I've seen Jordy Slasher picked it up, and I know Stu at Generation Pixel and Chicken Fillets, they've both played through this game and they loved it as well, and it's Final Fantasy Crisis Core. Fantastic game, absolutely loved it. Loved it back on the PSP, and it's just even better on the PS5. Obviously it's got a lot better graphics. It uses the Final Fantasy VII Remake engine, so the combat's a lot smoother, it's a lot slicker. Like in the PSP game it was a little bit stiff. I went back to it not long ago to have a wee look at it. It was a bit stiff, it was more about input and prompts and things like that. But this is a lot more action paced and a lot faster. Loved it. The sticking out thing, the thing that really sticks out for me in this game is Sephiroth's journey, and how he became what we know him as in Final Fantasy VII. His whole kind of arc, the whole kind of transition into what we know him as. It's fantastic. What a game. Love it. And then the next one was Bayonetta 3 for the Switch. So got this for Christmas. I don't have many Switch physical games. I think I've got 3 Switch physical games. Jay's got loads, Jay's got tons. But really happy to have this. Nintendo Switch exclusive at the moment anyway. And it's fantastic. It's just so over the top, it's so barmy, it's absolutely class. One thing, I think it was Eddie Woloko, I think he said it was it doesn't really push like next gen kind of like graphics and things like that. It's very much similar to Bayonetta 1 and 2, which is still a good thing, and I really enjoyed it. What I did notice is that there is a lot of pop-up. I think this would have been better suited on a little bit more powerful of a console. Maybe if it was even on I don't know, maybe even a PS4 or something like that. Like, I just think it would have been a lot slicker. There's a lot of pop-up and things like that. But it's brilliant, the set pieces are amazing. And it's just action-packed all the way through. Fantastic. The next one I played was Plague and Innocent Tale. No. Plague Tale Innocence, sorry. Really enjoyed this. I didn't know what to expect of it really when I put it on. It's just a really good story, a really good, well told story. It's very much in the ilk of like a PlayStation Studios game, you know, like it's a narrative driven blockbuster of a game. Games like The Last of Us and things like that, and Days Gone and Ghost of Tsushima, just things that are really narrative focused. This is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. It leaves you on the edge of the seat as well. It's really intense with a great heartbreaking story, but it's just fantastic. Love it. And then the next one was MotorStorm Apocalypse. Was it this next, or was it Anyway, MotorStorm Apocalypse, fantastic game. I've played through the I've played the MotorStorm games before, but this is the first one I've sat through and done the career mode. So there's 3 careers in it. The first one's the rookie career, and you play as Mash. Second one is the kind of professional, which is Tyler, and then the last one is Big Dog. That's the veteran levels, the veteran campaign. But it's brilliant. I think Tyler had a better campaign. I just thought it was a lot cooler. It was really cool. A lot more happens in his campaign with in terms of the stages, like transforming and stuff. And the stages, the levels in the game are the real stuff, to be honest. It takes part on an island called the Rock, and it's like hit by earthquakes and things like that. And there's people that still live there, and they won't move from there. They're just like bandits, I guess. And they're fighting. You can see them fighting in the background against the kind of big corporate bad guys as well. It's just really, really cool. It's hard to kind of explain the story. The story's not like the main thing about the game, but it's really cool. And with the levels transforming, skyscrapers falling, helicopters flying over your head, and fighter pilots on fighter jets as well, zooming across. It's just brilliant. And sometimes, like when you're racing and you take a route, it's kind of like the low road. It's hard to explain, but it's really, really cool when you see like cars jumping over your head. Like, it's just really, really cool. Brilliant games. Highly recommend. Next one is on the Game Boy Advance, which is Zelda: The Minish Cap. I remember I got this ages ago. I think with my little brothers, and I tried it before, and I didn't really stick with it. But I really enjoyed it this time. It's really classic Zelda. It's like the Zelda that we all know and love. It's not like a big open world kind of Breath of the Wild thing. It's just the bare essential Zeldas. You go through your levels, you get to different dungeons, but you need to have a certain weapon to progress in them dungeons, or a certain item and things like that. And it's just really, really cool. It's that blueprint of a Zelda game that's really good. Really, really good. And you get to shrink down because you've got the Minish Cap on. You get to shrink down and you get to explore the kind of world in like Minish form. It's just really, I really enjoyed it. Next one I finished was Epic Mickey 2. So I played this as part of Omega Ace's Disney competition. So he ran a competition that's getting drawn soon, I think. Really enjoyed it. I played the first one a couple of years ago, and it was really cool with the Wiimote. I think it's better with a Wiimote, to be honest, and you can't use the move. And I've got a move here. I just didn't use it. I don't know why I didn't use the move. Stupid. But class games, just really nice graphics, really nice level designs and everything. And this one, it's all like there's earthquakes in this game as well. It's kind of like the Mickey of the MotorStorm of the Mickey kind of world, but there's earthquakes and everything, and the world's getting ripped apart, and it's the mad scientist that comes and lets you, it makes you aware of everything. But really cool. Gets tricky. It is quite tricky. The only thing I would say, I was quite disappointed because I should have really played it in multiplayer. I should have asked Jay to give me a hand because we would have finished it a lot sooner. But it was enjoyable. I did enjoy it. And like, there's loads and loads and loads to do in it. Like, once you finish the game, there's loads of collectibles and pickups and just so much to do that I never really scratched the surface of. And in the same vein as that I was just saying about all the collectibles and everything, I played through Mass Effect Andromeda, and this game got a lot of hate when it first came out. But the thing is, I've never played Mass Effect back when this first came out, so I've only finished the Mass Effect trilogy at the arse end of last year. I only finished it right at the end of last year, and I loved the Mass Effect trilogy. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Even though most of my squad died in Mass Effect 2, but I still loved it. I loved the story for what it was. And this branches off from Shepard's story. It branches off from all of that, which I think is a really a really good thing. I think it was very, because Shepherd's Story was brilliant and it was fantastic, but it's done, it's dusted, it's finished, it's happened, and they've tried to do something a little bit braver with this, and they've went a completely different direction almost. So in this one you've got to go to the Andromeda system to find new planets for humankind to, not even just humankind, sorry, all the Asaris and the Krogans, everyone. You have to find a new home for everyone, and that's what you do in this. And the sense of discovery, of discovering the new planets, discovering barren planets, and setting up colonies on it, it's just really cool. It's really well done. The graphics are fantastic. They're not perfect. There is some pop up and things like that as well. One of the major downfalls for me, because I really love a photo mode, there's no photo mode in this game, and that really upset me actually, because there's so many photogenic opportunities to be had with this game, and there's no bloody photo mode. That was really upsetting, to be honest. But it's brilliant, really enjoyed it, and it does 100%. It's got the best combat out of any of the Mass Effect games, in my opinion anyway. It's just faster. You've got a jetpack that you can boost around and things like that. If you choose like a certain kind of skill tree, you can zip through barriers and things like that. Just really cool, really fluid. Really enjoyed that. The next one was another digital game. I really should prepare this a little bit better. But the next digital game that I played was for a recommendation from Ross Bahaha, and it was, you can't even see that, it's The Suicide of Rachel Foster. Really cool game. It's a walking simulator. Oops, that's the wrong way. You can't really see this, but I do apologise. It's a walking simulator, and you're in a hotel that you've inherited, and it's got real vibes of like The Shining. Like, it's not The Shining in the game, so don't think I'm saying that. It's not The Shining in the game, but you do get kind of vibes of The Shining, and really enjoyed it. Good story, fantastic kind of dialogue and everything. Yeah, not too long again, 3 hours maybe for this game. So a good short, quick playthrough, a nice little palate cleanser in the 52 Pursuit. And then the last game I played recently is Metal Gear Solid for the Game Boy. And this is a repro cart, like I'm 100% sure of it. It's got like a Phillips head screw, so I'm sure that's a repro cart. But it was brilliant, really enjoyed it. It's got that classic Metal Gear Solid DNA, like Metal Gear Solid and PS1. It kind of feels like that, but obviously reduced onto a Game Boy cartridge. A new Metal Gear to take on, a new rogue faction in the Black Chamber. And there's really cool characters in that. Like Marionette Owl, that character, it just sounds really cool, and her backstory seems really interesting. But really enjoyed this as well. Pretty tricky. There's a stage in it that you have to utilise different cardboard boxes, and that took me for ages. It took me for ages to figure that one out. But really enjoyed that. So that is my first 10 of the year, and end of January. So hopefully I can keep going with this momentum. Cheers.